what port in the low sequence they were. Advance the round. While all this is going on, the man back is preparing a time to show it reverse. He would show it to the gunner so that the gunner can check and make sure it was the round he called for. Send it to the front of the gun. The crewman would take the round, sheltering it with his body. Now this is just a blank. If this were real, he would have a separate cartridge, a cylinder filled with gunpowder. For this gun, about a pound of powder. He would load that in first, and then load the shell, which is bullet-shaped on top of it. Ram! At this point, the number one man would push the round to the back of the gun so that the powder bag is underneath the vent that you will see in the back. And he'll take up and put it in position. During the Civil War, as I said, there were no radios, so a lot of the things that a battery commander needed to see were visual signals. And if he has 6 guns under his command spread out over 100 yards, for him to be able to look and see that rammer up, he knows that that gun's pretty much ready to fire. So if he wants to fire by the battery or something like that, he knows where he is.
Back behind the pole, please. Keep coming.
Now the next thing that needs to take place is the gunner makes his final adjustments on sighting. Sight the piece. Piece is clear.
Hey,
ready.
Coming on right now.
Okay, the crewman will now poke a hole through the powder bag so that the splash from the friction primer can get in there and detonate the round. Well, light the powder bag and launch the round, not detonate it. A trained crew of artillery could fire about 3 rounds a minute. Of course, when you did that, the safety factor went way down. And as General Hunt would be the first to point out, it's not shooting, it's hitting. He would say frequently that 12 rounds fired, carefully aimed at 1,000 yards, would do a whole lot more for us than 50 rounds fired off carelessly. So we want you to take your time and aim carefully. Okay, the number 4 man comes out, has the friction primer in place, has his lanyard out, waits until the crewman steps clear. One of the things you always wanted to be was outside the line of the wheels, because when that piece fires, no shock absorbers. If there was a shell in there, it would recoil violently. So you didn't want to get run over by it when it recoils.
Gun number 1 is ready to fire.
Acknowledge. Gun number 1, prepare. Fire.
That was good, yeah.
Wow, I shook on that one.
That was good.
For the piece.
That was worth the wait.
Unfortunately,